welcome back to another edition of Comic Star Talk. I am your co-host Kevco, joined with.
XO, what's up? What's up?
How we doing today? We got a big slate adjustment to the DCU coming right up. So why don't you get into it, XO? What do you want to talk about first? What's coming up here?
All right, so we got a lot of news. We hear that a new trailer of Superman will be coming very soon. We don't know when, but
I still
it's
think
coming.
April 1st. I still think it's going to come at
I
CinemaCon or before CinemaCon, like that week.
I think April's a good time for it
Yeah,
to come for
definitely.
sure. And I'll just go on to the next one. We got the Teen Titans live action
Yes.
officially in development.
Mm-hmm.
Same script writer as Supergirl.
Yep. And
Uh,
thing about the Teen Titans here is I've seen a lot of certain segments of the fan base say that these are characters nobody cares about, this, that, and the other, about a lot of these projects they announced today. And my response to that is anyone who's between the ages of 10 and 30 probably grew up with these characters in animation form,
mhm.
and now they get them in the live action form. So
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a good idea to bring in a live action Teen Titans. It may seem weird that it's so much earlier than even like a Wonder Woman officially like going into production is announced, or even more of an update on Batman or whatnot, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. Whatever route they go, the prequel route or like a more modern day,
Hmm.
I'm fine with either or. I would much rather the prequel with like the Teen Titans that came out in '03 that most of us grew up on.
Who's in that lineup? I did not watch that show.
So we have Dick Grayson, Robin, we have Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, and Starfire.
Okay, okay, um,
That's
that'd
that's the
be
dream
cool.
team
I
lineup.
wonder if they're gonna put Blue Beetle in that mix for the live action.
See, I don't know what they're doing with Blue Beetle
Right.
or like if there's any because Zolo's coming back and that's
Yes,
confirmed. So
with that kid.
this is a older version of Blue Beetle. So uh
But he still looks. I
maybe
mean, he's like Tom Holland. He's like he's 24, but he looks like he's 16 still. So he could probably
yeah,
pass for another couple of years, or at
that
least for
would
maybe
work.
the first movie.
That would work better for like a young Justice, I
Yes,
think.
true. That would be. Yeah, you're right.
So like if he was in the Teen Titans, I think it would be like a mentor figure like Corey Starfire and Nightwing would be.
Yep. Okay.
But
I'm gonna rely a lot on you teaching me about the Teen Titans since I don't know much about them. Maybe I'll start the animated show because I've heard really good things about it.
yeah, I'm just waiting on like any casting news to rewatch that. I love
Yeah,
that series. It's
we'll have to
probably
rewatch
my
that shit.
favorite.
Yeah, nice, nice.
And to bounce off that, we got the Starfire
Yes.
animated show and Superpowers. I don't really know what that one is. And Jessica Cruz Green Lantern animated show
What do you know
all in
about
development.
Jessica Cruz?
I know she's cool, and that's pretty much it.
Now, how do you
Uh,
feel about them basically jumping off the My Adventures with Superman title for this? Do you like that?
I love that.
Okay.
I think starting a My Adventures universe is
Yep,
I
that's what I was gonna say.
really cool.
Yeah.
And to have these Elseworlds already going in full effect, like the Harley verse and now the Adventures verse,
Hmm.
will be really nice to just have in the universe, especially after the Tomorrowverse failed so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. We
So
talked about that last time. That was rough, but
so I
hopefully
don't
they get the
know
writing straight.
Starfire and superpowers. I don't know much about that, but I am excited for Starfire. No matter if it's in DCU or Elseworld, I love her, so I want to see her origin. That'd
Yep.
be cool. Maybe get her sister Blackfire in there. Get
Okay.
her.
So,
Yeah, pretty
with the
excited
Green
about
Lantern
that.
show, it's gonna be weird because on one hand you could use David Cornsweet if you ever wanted to bring in Superman, but you should use
No, you should
Huey
use
from the
Jack.
boy. You should use Jack Quaid.
Yeah, yeah.
But then it gets complicated because okay, so say John Stewart shows up, so would he be voiced by the guy in Lanterns, or would they find a new voice actor? So it could get a little complicated there depending on where they fit it, or if I don't think they'll move My Adventures with Superman into the DCU per se, probably just parallel. But
Yeah, I don't. I think they'll stay far away. So I think the animated show, like it they said it's going to be a Jessica Cruz that's in high school.
mhm.
So they're going to have a different tone immediately from the
Yep.
Lantern series that we're getting, which
Yeah.
is what that they're trying to make sure every project that are related are differing. Like
Hmm.
the Batman, for example,
Yep.
they
Yep.
want to make sure they don't like collide.
Yep. I think it's also smart to do this too because they're kind of capitalizing off. I mean, Spider-Man's already a popular character, but that new show that he just had was
Hmm.
fantastic and it got really good ratings. I know you haven't seen it yet,
Yeah, I
but
haven't seen
it's
it.
peak. I know you wait till things are all the way out usually to watch them because you binge, especially when it's half-hour TV shows, cartoons especially. But that show is really good. I can't wait for you to watch it and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see any hype about it. That's why I didn't
Yeah,
like dive at it because I didn't see any discourse about it. I just thought like people
yeah,
thought,
because we have the Discord channel for Star Talk, of course, and you mentioned that like nobody was bringing it up in the Yap thing, and me and you we rarely go into the Marvel section, so that's where they were
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
it. And yeah, they had no idea that I was watching it because I wasn't discussing it with anyone, but I was watching it weekly, and I really
hmm,
liked the release schedule where they would do I think 3 a week. It was nice because you could watch them all at once, or you could just a couple days, take a few days and watch one at a time. So I really enjoyed that release date schedule.
yeah. Speaking of that, I like that format of releasing
Hmm.
multiple episodes at once. I know Andor just released that they're releasing
Yes.
three at a time,
And
and
each one
I
takes
love that
place,
format.
and each one covers a year, and leading up to 4 years for the entire show. I think.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
the
even hear
first three
that.
episodes are 1 year, then the next three, and then yeah. So like by the end of it, it'll be like 4 or 5 years, whatever the episode count is. Um, so that'll be really cool, and we're also
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
that'll be building towards Rogue One. And I assume it'll end right at the beginning of Rogue One, which would be really cool. A lot of people love
yeah,
Rogue
yeah.
One. I'm kind of indifferent on it. But back to the DCU. What's next on the docket?
We got the Brave and the Bold Batman news. Finally,
Yes.
finally, finally. The script is being written, it is in development. So at first we heard that Andy Machete was no longer attached, but then later we've seen reports that Andy Machete was getting the first look at the
Yes.
scripts
He
along
basically
with
gets
James Gunn.
from what I understand, he basically gets the first chance to turn it down. Essentially, is what's going
Yeah,
to happen. They're going to give him the script. James is writing it right now, or sorry, James isn't writing it. He's just helping write it,
yeah,
or
yeah.
overseeing the writing of the project. Because apparently he's a huge Batman fan.
Yeah, he
Um,
says that that's his favorite character, right?
yeah, yep. He said that. He
So
said that in the past too. People seem to be forgetting that, but yeah, he has said that in the past that he loves Batman. Um, so yeah, hopefully that
he,
comes out incredible. And
and
I
more
kind of hope
more on
that
that.
Muschietti turns it down.
We know that Superman 2 is not James Gunn's next project.
Correct.
So I'm thinking he's going to be focusing on Batman, getting that started. And I think World's Finest is next. This is just
I
a,
think that was my exact thing. I just put that up. Gunn's
yeah,
next project? Question mark. I think it's going to be World's Finest. I think that's why he's so close in developing
yep,
the Batman script, so that they can roll right into a World's Finest movie, which would, I guess, technically be Superman 2-ish, 2.5, 1.5,
yeah, yeah,
give or
yeah,
take.
yeah.
Yeah, Superman 1.5. And that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, that'd
Now,
be
of course,
awesome.
today we also found out, we're just going to jump back to the Batman news, that Robert Pattinson will not be
Will
Batman
not be,
again.
yep,
He
that
has
was
to keep
last
shooting
on,
this down until
yep,
they go into production on Brave and the Bold or cast news. He's going to be shooting this down. He had to shoot it down again because people on the internet probably ask him 100 times a day, and he's probably sick of this shit, completely
yeah.
sick of it, over it.
And
Yeah,
he's specifically said several times that he will not be the Robert Pattinson is not the DCU
right.
Batman, and he did say they do not have a Batman casted yet.
Yes. They will not cast anyone allegedly until the script is complete and ready to shoot, which is
Hmm.
the best way to go about it. And I mean,
Yep.
looking at this, I mean, we're going to continue talking about the slate, but looking at it, what we know right now that's going into production is giving something for everyone. There's a horror movie, Clayface. We'll talk about that in a
Yes.
minute.
Hmm.
There's the Superman movie, which is good for people of all ages. You got an R-rated comedy in Peacemaker, which is also full of action. There's kind of a little bit of everything. There's animated stuff coming out. Some stuff's probably going to be aimed at the younger audience, which is a good idea because you got these people that maybe were born like going back to the MCU. We know people
Hmm.
that were born like right after it started, so they grew up with the MCU. It's all they know. So by the time
Yeah.
these kids are that are 8 or 9 or whatever when this animated stuff comes out, they'll be in high school and they'll be still going to see DC stuff. So hopefully it becomes like a lifelong love for them, like it has been for us through comics.
Yeah, and it could really range. They have like this is something unique to have a universe range from PG to R. That's kind of like unseen, really. Like we
Yep.
haven't seen Star Wars came close to it, but they haven't had a rated R.
Nope.
So,
Yeah,
but
very
they give
few. I mean, the only one that really does R-rated like universe stuff up until Deadpool and Wolverine, of course, is really the View Askewverse, and that's all R-rated stuff. I think there's a
hmm
single PG-13 movie in Kevin Smith's catalog of films in this View Askewverse. So it's gonna be really nice to see a nice mixture. Um,
yeah.
so I guess we'll talk about Clayface real quick. They have locked down
Yeah.
the director.
hmm
Um, I'm just jumping off this because it's going to be a horror. It's going to be a body horror, and
Love
everyone
that.
that knows me knows how much I love The Substance. Knows how much I
Yeah.
absolutely adore the movie The Fly. So this movie is quickly climbing up my rank as far as anticipation level, and it's something I never even thought. Like people say, who asked for this? It's like I didn't, but
I
fuck,
didn't, but I
fucking give
fucking,
it to me.
but I want it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like now that you bring it up,
Exactly.
yeah, yes, I do want
So
that.
with Clayface, I'm still really hyped about Swamp Thing, but
Me too.
it
Me too.
feels like with Clayface, like a director was interested in it and it
Yep,
happened organically.
it did.
So now this is taking that slot of the first horror kind of step away from the other genres, and I'm really excited for that. So yes, it jumps up on my hype list
Yes,
exponentially
absolutely.
just
Yeah.
just
I can't wait.
because
I
of
just
that.
gotta. Who would you like to play Clayface? Do you like the what's his name, Professor X, James
See, see,
McAvoy?
I I assumed it was going to be Alan because he voiced
He might
him
still voice the monster when he
in.
becomes a monster, but I have a feeling he won't be a monster until about close to the third act.
Yeah, I agree. So I don't really know who I see as Clayface. Like the faces keep changing in my head,
Yes, yes.
which
But I
is
mean, I
funny
think I
because
like
of
the
the
McAvoy
character.
thing because, well, of course, it's being directed by Watkins, I believe is his name.
hmm
Or they're in negotiations. It's not official. They're trying to lock that down. And of course, he did the last movie with McAvoy. And the two things I liked about that movie were McAvoy's performance and direction was fine. Other than that, it was a steaming pile of shit. But I think McAvoy is one of the best actors in Hollywood right now, and nobody ever brings him up as far as like awards because he's I don't know, he really doesn't do too many awards type movies, but the guy's
hmm
fantastic in everything he is. I mean, look at him in Split. Like the guy is fantastic in
Yeah,
everything he's
Split's a
done. So
spectacular movie.
yeah, and we know
Well,
he's a
I
fan
love
of the
that movie.
genre, so that'd be awesome to see him in Clayface. But honestly, whoever they cast, I'll be happy with at this point.
Yeah, for
Until
real.
they prove they can't cast, I mean, everything so far I've liked, so I have no reason to doubt his casting because I've liked it going all the way back to like Super and those movies.
So those all are going well. So you want to talk about the ones that aren't doing well?
Yes,
Like, so the authorities apparently they're
yes,
having trouble finding the story. It seems
yes.
like,
This happens a lot
and
with creatives. James Gunn had the
apparently
same
the
issue with Superman. He couldn't crack his way in at first.
yeah the showrunner lost interest is what the quote said, which
Okay.
is a little but it makes me wonder because like they brought in a certain somebody in and
Yep.
that would fit if there is a showrunner that lost interest in it. There's another guy up there that will
And
not be named.
I do think that, of course, you're talking about somebody that used to direct in the DC, but
Yeah.
honestly, with the authority, I think he's trying to. He had a quote to say about the boys. I'm trying to think of what it was, but basically, he was saying it's tough to do a movie like that when the boys is so fresh in everyone's head, like something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be one of the last projects, and that other
hmm
certain director is busy doing stuff right now. So who knows in 3 years when they go into production or 2.5 years,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
then he can
yeah.
slide in. But more than likely, he was just there to take a pick, and they trolled all the grifters, and it worked. And I love it.
hmm And
I,
also, Booster Gold is
uh,
struggling to
that
finalize
that
script
breaks
as
my
well.
goddamn heart. That
It
and Swamp
hurts
Thing were
me
the
as
two
well,
things.
but
When they announced Slate,
I
I want that movie.
think letting it happen naturally and not
Mm.
forcing it is the
Oh
right
yeah,
move. So
yep,
eventually, Booster Gold will have his time,
right. You
and
don't want
I'm
to.
excited for that.
you don't want to put out a slate and say and promise like this movie's coming out in like spring of 2027 or
Hmm.
fall of 28 because you never know if you'll be able to get. That's the problem Marvel has now. They're largely shooting Avengers in April and they don't have a finished script yet. So why are they even going
Yeah.
into production without it? Get the script
Yeah.
done. Every good movie starts with writing, every single one,
Oh yeah.
and then you go from there. Um, so it makes it tough. But yeah, if we have to wait for the Authority and Booster Gold, as long as they're good when they come out, then it's gonna be worth the wait. Same
Yeah.
with that's how I feel about the Batman 2. Like let Reeves take
Let
as
him
much
cook.
time as he wants,
Oh
deal
yeah,
with whatever he had
we
going on,
found
and
out the Batman 2 script was not handed in yet.
yep,
That's all we
yep.
got about it.
hmm I
And
don't expect that to film till the fall at the earliest, anyways. People were saying summer, and that just seemed too quick to me. I feel
mhm,
like the fall, considering it's not coming out till 27, makes way more sense, or even like
yeah,
January of next year. That's just how I
have a
feel about
lot
that.
of time.
So yeah, they'll have a ton of time if they even wait till the fall of this year to film that movie. Um, and with Robert Pattinson's schedule too with the Odyssey, I just knew they weren't going to try to film this summer until he was done with that commitment.
Yeah, but another movie that is going that's halfway done is Supergirl. Woman of Tomorrow is halfway done production
Yep.
already, and they've really kept that shit under locks. Like we
Yeah.
haven't seen anything except for that one picture of Millie in
Millie.
the
Yep.
chair
At the
with
bar,
the
basically.
crest.
What we think
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
bar. Yeah, that movie, and of course, I think a big part of this too is since they're not really shooting outside at all. I think the first
yeah.
look at her as Supergirl will be in Superman. I can
Mm-hmm.
almost guarantee that at this point. They don't want to blow their load proverbially on that. Um, so I think that
False.
would be, I think that would be when we're going to see her first. And of course, he responded to questions about Lobo, and
Yeah, and
yeah,
people expected to see Lobo. Like he's not gonna
he's going to be in
be
like
in there
5 minutes
much.
of the movie. Like he's probably in
Yeah,
like 3 pages of the script. The movie has bounty hunters, so he's probably just going to be playing one of the bounty hunters.
yeah, he's more of a
So
background figure
yeah,
to just establish the character of
yep,
Lobo that people love, and I love that for the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow story.
yep.
You know, that's one of my favorite
Oh yeah,
comics right now.
definitely. I was gonna have that
So,
displayed up here, but the deluxe is too big for my shelf, so I went with Daredevil
uh,
instead because that starts next week.
yeah, I got
Um,
my signed one that I would put, but I got nowhere to put it.
nice.
And what else? What else? We got the Crypto short that is in development in the same universe in the DCU. So we'll
hmm
get short stories of crypto, which I love. And they're saying it's going to be for kids, but I'm here for it. I grew
Yeah,
up with the crypto show, and I would love
I like how
little crypto adventures.
it's gonna be seasonal. They're doing 4 episodes, one in each season, and I like that idea. So we're obviously getting a crypto Christmas episode. So
Hmm.
that should be fun. And these are live action, correct?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, well,
Not sure.
I read that it was going to be the same dog, so just assumed that it might be live action.
I
Um,
assumed opposite. I assumed it
okay,
was going to be animation with the
okay,
same dog, though.
okay, gotcha,
But
gotcha.
well,
Same design of the dog, so it's the same dog. Gotcha.
yeah, same exact dog, but animated, but I'm not sure. That'd be cool if it was in live action though. A
If
bunch
it's
of
only like a
shorts.
half hour or whatever, they could easily do that. It'd be
Yeah, because
great.
they just
I
have
would love
to
it.
CGI a dog and
Yeah.
just doing stuff. Like
Yep.
I'm here for that.
What do you got next?
James Gunn, not next project, not Superman. Already did that. Oh, Waller, back
Oh
to
yes.
issues with scripts. The they're having issues finishing the
Yep.
script as well, which is not surprising because he planned this to come before most stuff,
Yeah.
and then whatever happened, the strikes happened, so it got pushed, and I think it's like kind of lost in limbo right now,
hmm
but I believe they could find their way back. But it confuses me with the Bane and Deathstroke movie
Yep.
or series, whatever that's going to be.
Yep. I think it's gonna be a movie.
So I would think like Waller would have to go first and maybe lead into that somehow.
More than
I'm
likely, that would
not
probably be where
sure.
it would end up being slated because it seems like they're pretty far out on that movie also.
Hmm.
Um, And Waller, honestly, is, I mean, I've told you this many times. It's like the one thing that when he announced the slate that I was just like, oh, okay. But I really don't, it was just like, it was just very mid to me. But obviously, I'll
Yeah,
try to watch it and see
that
what
was
it's
an
like.
and one, but Viola Davis is
She's so good. That,
amazing.
yeah,
She's
exactly.
perfect, Amanda Waller. So for that reason, like I'm
Yeah,
set. I'll
yeah.
be there, and I'm interested. I
They
like the
basically
character.
just kept her around too because they already had her in house. Like they already had her like working for the studio, and she had already worked with
Hmm.
James Gunn a couple times. So I think it just made sense to do a show with her. And if they end up canceling that show, just keep her around the universe as like the Nick Fury type, but
Yeah,
not Nick
that's
Fury.
just,
Yeah.
but the bad version
Yes,
essentially,
exactly.
and that's pretty cool. I love Waller. I would love to see more villains, more task force
Hmm.
teams. Give me them. I
Yep.
love Creatures Commandos. So yeah,
And we
what?
didn't get any news on Paradise Lost, right?
Yes, we did. We
Oh, we
did
did.
get news.
Okay.
So they are working on their pilot now.
Okay.
So they're developing the pilot for the series.
Okay.
So that's a start. So
Okay.
Wonder
Good.
Woman fans,
That's
one
good.
report said that Wonder Woman is expected to be in the series, but I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, I never felt right about that. Like when I heard the announcement, it just never seemed like Wonder Woman herself would appear. Maybe as a young girl or
It
something.
feels like we're building up to her being Wonder
Yeah,
Woman more
yeah.
so. Like James said, a Game of Thrones esque
Hmm.
show, which put this series very high on my list since the announce of the slate. So
Hmm.
I'm really, really excited for news about that.
Yeah,
And he said it's an essential piece to the universe.
yep.
So
And speaking of HBO shows, you still got to watch True Detective right before Lanterns because you've never seen
yes, I
that
have
yet. But
to watch
that
season
show
one.
is
Yeah,
incredible. I'll watch it with you if you want because I can watch that show
yeah,
anytime. I love the first season. After that,
definitely
it's
will.
no bueno. But actually, the third season's not bad. Second season, uh, woof. But the
Yeah,
first
I
season's one
heard
of the
like
best seasons of TV ever.
that's what I keep hearing over and over
It's
again. You're not
incredible.
the only one that said
Yeah,
those exact words.
yeah.
So we got this. James Gunn has approved DCU skins for Fortnite.
Yes,
I know you're not a big Fortnite guy, but I
I
love
will be
Fortnite.
now.
So this is huge news for me.
Yep,
I'm very excited about it. He also said he would be open to making a Marvel Rivals like game, but for DC.
that would be awesome.
And they have both James and Peter have met with Rocksteady and the NetherRealm or something to
Okay.
discuss games for the DCU. So
Yeah,
that's
that
in
makes sense
motion.
because NetherRealm does the Mortal
Hmm.
Kombat games, and they always have Warner Brothers property in their games, right?
Yeah, so that
Yeah,
getting started is awesome because now you have games in your universe, and I just think the idea is amazing.
yeah, it's awesome that they interconnect and everything. And if you want to play them, you can. And again, all this stuff you can also, if you're not interested in, say, a Sergeant Rock movie, you're not going to be
Hmm.
lost going into the next movie if you don't see Sergeant Rock. Like that's the big issue
Or
right
vice
now,
versa.
Marvel. Yes, or vice versa. That's the
You
big
may
issue
like
now.
war movies and
Yep.
not like the cape stuff.
Right.
And
Exactly. And like I was gonna say, like this is the issue now with the MCU is to be caught up on Captain America, you have to watch two movies that most people consider very mid, like bottom tier MCU, and a TV show that nobody really liked that came out 4 years ago.
mhm.
Um, and so that's why a lot of people are having issues with the new Captain movie, although I've heard that it's way better than people are saying.
Yeah, I'm excited to
So I
see
can't wait to
it
see it. Yeah, me and
actually.
you are both on that. We both want to see it. We both think it'll be much better
Oh,
than they say.
since we're on talking about Marvel stuff, James
Yes.
said that he has a 6-year plan to
Yep.
lead up to an end game
Yes.
like event, which I
Yes.
love. And at
I
first they
wish.
announced they had a 10-year plan, and now they have a more sturdy 6-year plan.
Yep.
I love that. How
I
it's
do too. I just wish I wish he didn't say Endgame. I just wish he said Avengers. Because then it's like you just know
yeah,
the Justice League. Because Endgame, that's a lot to live up to promise
it
an
is.
Endgame like event when Marvel didn't
That's
even have an
thick
Endgame like event
storytelling.
until like 2014. So it's
Yeah.
just it's tough to. I would have just said an Avengers like movie because the first Avengers movie came out what the fifth movie or so.
Yeah, but that
Um,
means
but there'll be like
he has
89
something
DCU movies.
grand.
So Yeah.
something grand is in the works, and to
Hmm.
label it a 6-year plan, that means he feels
Yeah, he's
pretty certain
confident.
about it.
Yep.
Yeah, which I love that. But yeah, the DCU coming to Fortnite is huge news for
Mm.
me because I thought we weren't going to get any DC skins when
Yes.
they usually give us the Batman skin
Hmm.
for Batman Day, and we didn't get it this year.
Hmm.
I mean last year, but we didn't get it. So we all thought because of Multiverses, the game that nobody plays,
Yeah.
uh, we thought we were not getting any DC skins, but we've been getting DC skins lately, and the Batman is in the bundles in the shop now as we speak.
Yep.
So that's already started. So James is giving notes on character designs
Hmm.
for it. I need that Supergirl skin. Give me the Millie
Not
Alcock
gonna
Supergirl
lie,
skin.
you know what one I would actually buy for Fortnite out of all the people that I'm assuming will be part of this is I would like a Blue Beetle one
A Blue
because
Beetle would be dope.
his glides and his move. I would just love a Blue Beetle skin for Fortnite, and I feel like all the people that I play Fortnite with would either go with Supergirl or with Superman or
Yeah,
whoever.
you know I'm gonna rock the Supergirl
Yeah,
all day.
100%. Especially if it looks like Millie.
No, yeah.
But I would love a Blue Beetle one.
Um, there's no way I should have sent you that art from Job Huts, the Millie Alcock
Oh
Supergirl.
yeah, yep.
Yeah, that would have been nice. We'll put
We'll
it
we'll
up.
take care of that later. We'll get that up
Yeah,
next time.
that was a good piece. I'm really excited to see her.
Job Hutz
So
does such a great job too with his art.
he's carrying the
Like,
DCU fan art.
yeah,
Like that's
so
what I
good.
do. I post fan art. So this guy is just killing it every time,
Hmm.
and I love it. He's
Yep,
doing great, and he seems like a cool dude too,
yep.
which is important. And let's go back to Superman for a
Hmm.
second. And we heard this before, but it's going to have a Barbie-like marketing rollout,
Yes,
and I love that. Everything
I
Superman everywhere.
yeah, yep. They've already got the toothbrushes in stores. I
The
bought two for my
toothbrushes.
nephews.
Oh, you
Um,
got it?
yeah, I got two for my
I need to get.
nephews.
I need to
And
get one.
they have Superman toothpaste in stores now too, flavored like
Oh, I
watermelon. And I
didn't.
think they have a strawberry or something like that. But
Man,
yeah,
why
they're rolling
kids
all
all
that
get
now.
all the good flavors? We get
I
peppermint
mean,
and shit.
you could use kids' toothpaste if you wanted to, but
Well,
I don't
I
know how
actually
good it is
I
for
use
adult
this
teeth.
Hello brand that's like free of fluoride or whatever, and all
Oh, hello, yeah,
natural.
they're great.
And I got their kids version because it was fruit punch, and I'm like, heck yeah, fruit punch. It just wasn't cleaning enough, so I had to go
Yeah,
back to the natural peppermint, which is
yep.
fine, but
It's very strong. You feel like you came out of the dentist after you used the that stuff. Because I use
yeah,
that brand too.
but it's natural, so it's good. It's good.
Yes.
And I believe that's it on the news.
Yep. That dropped
Do
today.
you
As far as I know, did we talk about the Blue Beetle show much? Because the
No,
only
we
updates we
haven't.
have on that show come from Sholo himself, Shiloh,
Hmm.
Sholo, um,
Solo.
Exo Part Two, whatever you want to call him. Uh, but yeah, he's the only one that's been updating us, and I guess he's talking to the showrunner, and things are moving. But no update from James yet, which is
Hmm.
a little unfortunate. But I'm really looking forward to that show. Blue Beetle's a fun movie. Like it's
Yeah,
very generic, but you know what? It's a good time.
it's a generic family movie, but it's solid.
Yes.
If not to compare with the MCU, but to compare with the MCU, you stick that movie in the MCU, it's an amazing movie.
It's
Like
making
it's
$600 million. Yeah.
yeah.
It's gonna do Ant
But
Man numbers, so that's not bad.
but this universe is shaping up well. When we were told that we were getting news at least Monday, I did not expect it to be like
Yeah,
freaking
especially after
page full of notes of
he
news.
fooled all the
Like,
grifters. Like, and all the
yeah.
grifters were like, "Oh, guess nothing's happening," and they just meant nothing is happening with Snyder,
Yeah,
and
who was it?
everyone tuned in anyways, and
A certain
everyone got
female
duped.
said that we weren't getting much.
Yes, yes. And then as the news started to slowly trickle out today, a lot of them would repost it and be like, "This is all we're getting. This is all we're getting,"
Hmm.
and then just more news, more news, more news. Then by the
More
time
news
I
constant.
was up in Portland, Maine, say it's like an hour away. from my trip there to here, all of a sudden I had like a whole new slate to like look forward to, basically on top of
Yeah,
what we already knew was coming. So it
yeah,
was a great day
it's.
for DC fans, I think. Um,
Hmm.
and they really do have to show and prove themselves though now. They've announced things. That all starts pretty much with Superman. I mean, a little bit with Creature Commandos, but Superman is the big one coming up.
Before I forget, the
Yes,
last things James said about Supergirl, that it will be a gritty sci-fi movie.
yes.
And what did he say about lanterns? I don't know if you've seen. He
Oh,
said,
I saw reports last week, people calling it like weird and kind of out there, but like
yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense for like space cops that go to
mm-hmm,
Earth. Obviously,
uh,
it's going to be weird, and it's done by the guy that did Lost and the showrunner for Ozark. So,
perfect, perfect,
like,
love that.
like they have a combined 14 Emmy awards, and people say that nobody wants to
I,
work for
I
the
I
DCU.
didn't
So,
even know that. I didn't even know
yep,
that. And yeah, everybody's blaming Tom King, and it's like this guy's just helping with the writing. Like,
yeah. He's not even a showrunner. He's just in the writers' room. Like
yeah, I get.
anything that he writes, they don't like. That they can be like, nope.
You could admit, like, you could not like all his work, but you have to
Mm-hmm.
admit he does have some good single stories.
Mm-hmm.
He struggles in his longer runs, but
Mm-hmm.
he has the potential there. You may not like his Wonder Woman, but his single stories kind of are good.
His run right now that I think finishes up on Wednesday or next Wednesday, the fighting series there with Black Canary
Hmm.
is, I like it a lot. I've read the first 4 issues. I'm just gonna wait for the last one to come out before I read the last two, but I've enjoyed reading that month to month.
See,
Um,
like that's
it's a
five
good
issues.
run.
He thrives with
Yeah,
like
he's good. Like
that's
Supergirl
five
was eight.
issues. Super's
Supergirl was
8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, he's great with the shorter runs, and not a single person that's read Supergirl has disliked it that I've
Yeah,
talked to.
I
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody. I
So,
recommend that book to everyone.
oh yeah,
Like,
it's a
oh,
great book.
you want to know a Supergirl book? The Woman of Tomorrow.
Yep.
That's the go-to.
Yep. When we started doing comic reviews on my other channel, that was the first one we did because I was like, "Bro, you haven't read this yet?" And he was like, "No," and I was like, "Take mine," because I was getting the
Yeah.
deluxe anyways. And my buddy Ray absolutely loved it. Like he was like, "This is a 5 out of 5 comic."
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I love the comic. When I think of my favorite comics, it's definitely up there. And
Yeah,
I
the
think
art's awesome.
Superman World Saga sneaks in there.
Yeah,
So
I gotta just
I
buckle
thought
down. It's behind my Daredevil. I gotta buckle down
I
and
bring
read it.
that up often.
I
So
know. I know.
that and Up in the Sky. Love those books.
Yes, Up in the Sky, absolutely. That's another Tom King, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
another
There you
great
go.
Tom King
Another what?
story.
8 issues probably.
I think it's
10,
12.
12. It might
12
be
or 8.
12.
One of them. One of,
Okay.
yeah.
I know he wanted to do 12 with Supergirl, but they weren't selling, and like Supergirl was not selling at the time that he was writing it, so they would only let him do 8 issues. So that's why it
Yeah.
was only 8 issues.
That's a shame.
Yeah. Imagine if that
Like
was a little
it
longer, but then again, it might have
yeah,
ruined it too
put
if there was a little bit fluff in
put
there. But
Lobo in there.
yeah, I mean, he could have. Who knows?
Yeah.
Got anything else you want to talk about tonight, bud?
Mm, I believe that's it.
Alrighty.
Is there anything you're reading or something?
I did just read. I'm about to start reading Born Again to get ready for Daredevil. That's why it's up there.
Okay.
I got to
Okay.
put something there to remind me to read because I always forget and get lazy.
Yeah, I'm
But I did
on
just read. I did just read
season
The Man Without
2.
Fear. So,
Hmm. So you
so
enjoyed
have
it?
you ever read any Daredevil?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Actually, that'd be a lie. When I was a kid, I've read some random Daredevils along
Okay, so
with
that
some
doesn't really
random
count.
Spider-Man. It doesn't
I don't
really
count
count.
that. Yeah,
No, yeah. I don't
I do
remember
recommend
nothing,
those
so.
books. And Daredevil Yellow is also, I believe, that's coming out with a re-release in March sometime, and that's by the guys that wrote and drew Long Halloween, Loeb and Sale. So you might want to think about getting that one too.
Yeah,
I think it's just called Daredevil
Loeb is great.
Yellow. Yeah,
I actually got his I think it's World's Finest. It's Batman Superman.
okay,
And I got the absolute version by him. I only got it because it was by him, and I'm
yeah,
gonna send it.
he's
I love
incredible.
his work. Yeah, I
Yes,
haven't read a bad Loeb book. So,
yeah, awesome.
yeah.
All right, thanks for
All
tuning
right.
in. We'll catch you when we catch you. Hopefully soon. Later, guys.
Deuces.